The New Yorker's spoof column, The Borowitz Report, was in the news over the weekend when it wrote that the founder of Amazon.com had purchased the Washington Post for $250 million by accident. The article, as unbelievable as it sounds, was picked up by Chinese state media, the People's Daily Online, as well as China's Xinhua news agency, as fact. China's Xinhua news agency was not the only international publication who didn't fact-check. An Italian news magazine had previously also picked up a Borowitz report about Berlusconi considering a run for a New York office. Now, a lot of Chinese internet users felt that it was very embarrassing for China's official news agency to not realize that the New Yorker column had always run spoof stories. But at the same time, there were others who felt that the New Yorker shouldn't have these fake stories because they can be very misleading. After all, you wouldn't find them in Chinese publications. Well, let's take a look at what they had to say about the story.
I saw this in the news the other day. The story didn't even fool me. How can anyone possibly buy a news publication for $250 million by mistake online? I think Chinese media are too used to accepting what they read that they treat Western media as if it's Chinese media. This is not the first time this has happened. I think globally, Chinese media is probably thought of as a joke, only slightly better than North Korean media. I think there are fundamental differences between Western journalism and Chinese journalism. In China, news is news. There are no fake news or spoof news. The government dictates what the news is, and all news outlets must present a united voice. In America, news is varied and comes in different colors and flavors. China's news media already struggles with being labeled as propaganda. Unless they can change their ways, they will not be taken seriously by the West.
This is not the first time that China's state news media was fooled by satire and spoof. Late last year, the People's Daily, the newspaper of the Communist Party of China, ran a story posted on The Onion, including a 55-image slideshow of Kim Jong-un. The original Onion article named Kim Jong-un as the sexiest man alive for the year 2012. The story became a running joke online, and the People's Daily did not retract the story until internet users began to make a big deal out of it. Now, some internet users explained that many Chinese journalists are not used to the idea of satire and spoofs because all news media in China are owned by the government and hence speak with an official voice. But having been duped once should be enough to learn from their mistake, which is why many internet users are not as forgiving the second time around.